Well, everybody, the week that we've been waiting for has arrived. The week that we're able to get back together as a team. I'm excited about that, and I hope you are too. So, the first thing I want to mention is a schedule change that we've made. We put that out earlier today. We're going to practice this week Thursday instead of Tuesday. So, the same time, 6:30 to 8, but moving that to Thursday. Tuesday, looking at the weather the last couple days, they're looking at rainy and stormy conditions. We don't normally change the practice schedule because of weather. We don't do that very often at all, but since we're only meeting once a week right now, I want to be able to get the most out of it. And since we're really limited on what we can do inside because of the guidelines, we thought it'd be best to go ahead and push the practice back. So again, we're going to be practicing Thursday, June 25th this week, 6:30 to 8. The other 2 days that we had scheduled as well on June 30th and July 7th, those dates are still on as scheduled. And then we'll get back to the full practice schedule on July 13th. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what to expect and what the athletes can expect in terms of the guidelines. When they get to practice on Thursday, the first thing we'll do before we stretch or do anything else is to talk about the guidelines, and I'll have a little handout to give each athlete. But to share those, especially with the parents beforehand, some of what the guidelines are going to be. So first, every athlete has to be giving a health screening. That is mostly, just asking them some questions. Have you had a cough? Have you, been in contact with anyone with COVID-19? Things like that. The one thing we will have to do is take their temperature. So the school has a forehead thermometer, and that is something we'll have to do before practice. Because of that, I'm going to ask the athletes to arrive about 10 minutes early before the scheduled start time, because we'll have to go through each athlete and give that little screening and take the temperature. So that will take just a little bit more time than normal to get us started. The second thing that'll be important for students cannot share water bottles. Normally, we fill up 5 or 6 water bottles and share those. The kids know not to touch their mouth with it, but otherwise, we share from the same bottle. Can't do that right now. So for these once a week practices, the next 3 weeks, we're asking kids to bring their own water. Once we begin full-time practices on July 13th, we will provide each athlete with a water bottle. We'll give them one of the Gatorade water bottles that the school has, and then they can still be responsible for filling it up. But we're going to wait and do that once we get back to full-time. So if kids can bring a bottle of water here these first 3 weeks where we have the individual practices, that would be helpful. I'm not sure they would need to have food, but if they do have food, another guideline is not to share any food. The 6 feet distancing rule is important. There must be a minimum of 6 feet between individuals at all times. This includes, during the stretches, during the running, during any drills that we do. Last thing on the list, athletes may wear face coverings if they choose. They're not required to. Coaches will have face coverings on as per the guidelines from the state. So I think that's really about it. I really just wanted to touch on the practice schedule change and the guidelines and kind of what to expect from practices. As always, we drop kids off and pick kids up there outside of the gym next to the cafeteria doors, just like always. That has not changed. So we look forward to seeing everyone this week. Just a reminder, if for some reason you can't make it, your family already has plans, or you have some other conflict, that's not a big deal at all on these weekly practices. All right. I know especially where we changed practice this week, some of you may already have plans on Thursday, so please don't feel obligated to change or cancel any family plans for these individual practices. I know they weren't on the practice schedules that we gave to the kids in our silent meeting back in June. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me. Otherwise, we hope to see everyone on Thursday evening. Have a great week.